It's Eric Bakker, the naturopath. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, where's my helper? Good boy, you lie down. Just got Tracy's dog with me today. Tracy's gone away and for a little while, and I've looking after her big doggy. Now, let's talk about an interesting point. The real reason some people can live their entire lives without gaining any weight at all. Well, I find it very interesting looking at studies, as you all know. I read lots of different studies all the time. Studies are quite interesting. There's a lot you can gain from a study, but also a study can shoot itself in the foot. When I look at it and I'm thinking, is this really objective? Is this really scientific? What kind of point are they trying to push here? I just looked at studies where now they're saying skinny people are that way because they've identified genes which allow those people to remain skinny. Obese people are that way because they're allowing, people to remain obese. What a load of crap. It really, really winds me up, these sort of things, If we look back, traditionally, in the 50s or 60s, I think I mentioned this, I saw a picture of Coney Island. I think that's somewhere in New York. I think that's a beach somewhere where they had an amusement park, a bit like Blackpool in the UK. I looked at a photo that someone sent me. I think it was 1950 or 1955. Now that's not that long ago, That's not 1,000 years ago. So this is what winds me up about genetics. There was one large person on the beach. Everybody else was normal size. There were no fat people. There were no obese people. Then I saw Coney Island Beach about 30 years later, and it was an entirely different story. Just about everybody on the beach was large, and many were obese, and then there was the odd sort of normal person of normal size. So you're not going to tell me in 1 minute that between 1955 and 2010, I think it was, genetics all of a sudden changed to allow people to become really big and other people to stay small. What a load of junk. I really don't believe in stuff like that. People are big all around the world at the moment. You may notice this. 60% of adults in England are overweight. 1 in 4 adults are obese. By the time a child turns 5, in England now, it has a 1 in 4 chance of turning into a little fatty. A little fatty. Like on Harry Potter, that little fat boy that got a spanking. You might have seen that. Now, when I was a kid going to school, every class I was in, we always had one fat boy sitting in the corner crying, usually, didn't want to go to the gym room or do his physical education. There was always one. Now, it's more like there's one skinny one, and the rest are all big. I can't buy the genetic angle. I really can't. What I can buy is technology has changed a lot of things for people. Many people now are slowing down, People aren't really as active anymore. The real reason people can live their whole lives without ever gaining weight is because they remain active, very active. People like me have always maintained a high level of activity. I've got brothers who don't maintain a high level of activity, and they're bigger people, They're eating different kind of food than me, and they're not as active. They're more into computers. That, in my opinion, is what making people big. It's the lifestyle change. If you're sitting there watching this and having a smoke and having a laugh, and you have got weight and you think this guy's full of crap, let me ask you something. Are you an active person or are you a passive person? Do you get off your butt and do things? If you have to take something out to the garbage can, do you walk the long way or do you ask a 5-year-old to take the short way? Give him a jelly bean on the way there. It's up to you. When I do something, I always try and really do something. So, for example, if I'm in the garden and there's weeds, I'll make sure I bend down and pick up those weeds. I'll pick things up. I'll stretch, I'll bend, I'll move, I'll walk. And I do that every single day. And I will do for the rest of my life. I've maintained the same body weight. I could easily gain weight. I could easily gain 40, 50 pounds by not being an active person. Now, I haven't met very many very active people that are obese. I haven't met any, to be honest. I've met some that are overweight, but not obese. It's difficult when you're trapped in a very large body to become an active person. You can become active person, but you have to think about it. It's got to be something that you want to do. And understanding that your body has this equation where calories go in and movement makes calories go down by burning. So now you may be one of these people who exercises all the time. People like me don't have the need to exercise, Exercise because we're busy, we're active. As I mentioned, when I was a young fella, we had windows in the cars that you could actually do that, and the window would go down and up. And I had a friend, I think I was about 13 or 14, with a very wealthy family. They had this American car with push button. You pushed it and the window went up and down. Well, to see something like that back in 1969 was pretty space age. Now, nobody's got the windows that go down anymore, okay? That's the point I'm making. People aren't really active anymore. People are passive. That, to me, is the single denominator for weight, is activity versus passivity. That plus the caloric load. Eating less calories, eating fresh, healthy food, eating smaller portion sizes, and moving your butt, to me, is the way to get the weight off and to keep it off by being active, right? So think about that. Let's answer the question again. The real reason some people live their whole lives without gaining weight is activity, in my opinion. Activity followed by a healthy diet. But remember, there's always exceptions to the rule. Some people have got far too much activity. Hypothyroid patient, for example, cannot sit down. So that could be actually disease in its own right. Hypothyroidism could be underactive again, can't gain, and can't lose the weight. These are medical conditions that can be fixed up. All right. If you've got an endocrine problem that's precluding you from losing weight or from precluding you from gaining weight, these things can be sorted. And there are other rare reasons why a person may not be able to lose weight, but common sense says to me it's activity. Lack of activity or sufficient ongoing activity and lack of understanding portion sizes, how much the person eats, and the calorie value of foods. Get yourself a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, like my wife has. The Apple Watch is pretty cool. You can watch your steps, the movement, everything you're doing, your heart rate, anything you can do, or anything I can do to recommend you to increase your engagement, increase your activity, is going to be a big, big bonus for you in the long run. Just like it is buying an investment property, in time it will really pay off. It may hurt now, but that pain will turn to a lot of pleasure and gain in the years to come. Think about it. Click on the link below if you want my weight loss report. Thank you.